Korea ranked 29th out of 37 major OECD economies in terms of economic growth during the fourth quarter of 2024, as weak domestic demand and heightened political uncertainty weighed on the nation's performance.
작년 4분기 우리나라 경제 성장률이 37개국 가운데 29위에 그친 것으로 조사됐습니다. 여기에는 내수 부진과 정치적 불확실성이 고조된 점이 작용한 것으로 보입니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so this survey of 36 OECD countries and China found that Korea, fourth largest economy in Asia, posted a real GDP of 0.066 in Q4 last year, and that's near the bottom of the list. At the top of the list was Ireland with a 3.613% growth rate, followed by Denmark. Turkey was in there up at the top as well. The United States ranked 17th, and Japan grew at 20th, but South Korea's real GDP has been steadily declining since Q2 of last year. It was at 32nd place that year from 6th place in the previous quarter. So it dropped pretty quickly. And like the headline suggests, a lot of that is due to low domestic demand with both private consumption and construction investments remaining in a prolonged slump here.
Right. When you say Q4 and Q2, what does that mean?
Fourth quarter, second quarter. It's the short way of saying that block of 3 months in the year.
그래요. 우리 2, 4분기, 4, 4분기, 1, 4분기, 3, 4분기도 다 마찬가지겠지만 영어로는 first quarter, fourth quarter라고 하고요. 이거를 완전히 줄여가지고 그냥 알파벳 Q, Q1, Q2 이렇게도 표현을 합니다. 그래서 지금 작년 4분기 얘기를 하시면서 in Q4 last year 이렇게 얘기를 해주셨고 그 다음에는 domestic demand was very low 이런 얘기를 하셨었어요. 이게 바로 이제 내수 부진을 의미하는 거겠죠.
Yep.
그 외에도 이런 표현을 좀 보고 싶은데요. In terms of something.
Yep, so we're talking about this ranking, but what specifically in the ranking? We're talking about it in terms of economic growth, meaning that with regard to, or we're describing that particular area that we want to talk about.
그러니까 이러한 면에서는
Yeah.
무엇에 관해서는 이런 거군요. In terms of something.
Right. You can replace it with regard to something or subject specified or on the basis of. This is what we're talking about.
그러니까 이 헤드라인의 앞부분을 영어로 된 헤드라인을 보게 되면은요. OECD 국가 중에서 한국이 29위를 했습니다.
Yeah.
근데 이렇게만 말하면
Yeah.
뭐에 관한 29위야?
I would say in terms of what?
In terms of what?
Yeah.
그렇죠.
What was the ranking based on?
그렇죠. 그래서 OECD 국가 플러스 차이나 총 37개국 가운데 우리가 29위를 했는데 무엇에 관한 어떤 면에서 29위를 했느냐? In terms of economic growth.
Yeah.
그래서 경제 성장률 면에서 그렇다. 영어식으로는 이렇게 쓰게 되겠고요.
You hear the expression terms and conditions a lot when you're signing a contract, for example. It's the rules or the sort of the guidelines or stipulations that govern the agreement. So those would be the terms and conditions.
맞아요. 계약 조건들을 이제 terms and conditions라고 하는데 이 terms도 조건이란 뜻이고 conditions도 조건이란 뜻이죠, 사실.
Yeah, exactly.
네. 자, 여기서는 in terms of라는 어떠한 면에서라는 표현이었고요. What about this one here? Weigh on something.
Yeah, so something can weigh on you literally and figuratively. If something's literally weighing on me, that means I might have a big backpack on my back and it's pushing me down into the ground because it's so heavy. But in this case, it's not the economic performance that's literally weighing on you. It's just giving you a lot of worry or anxiousness or it's burdening you. In this case, the economy.
Yeah, it's almost as if something heavy is pulling you down.
Exactly.
그래요. weigh 이거 스펠링이 W-E-I-G-H입니다. 무게라는 뜻이 있는 단어죠. 그래서 weigh라는 동사는 그만큼의 무게를 싣다 이런 의미가 될 수 있어요. 그러니까 그렇게 무게를 싣게 되면은 어떻게 내려가게 되잖아요. 너 무거우니까. 그래서 한국의 경제 성장률 얘기를 하는데 이게 왜 이렇게 순위가 높지 않느냐? 그 중에 하나는 내수 부진, weak domestic demand. 또 하나는 이제 정치적인 불확실성, political uncertainty.
Yep.
그런 것들이 나라의 퍼포먼스라고 했는데 여기서 경제 성장을 말하겠죠. 그런 것들에다가 이제 좀 짓누르는 것 같은, 이게 끌어내리는 것 같은 역할을 했다.
Yeah, or it's keeping it behind. It's
Yeah.
keeping it from developing or growing. You can say it's also bearing down on you.
Bearing down,
Right,
that's
that's
another good
another
one.
way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, weigh on something, 무언가를 이렇게 내려가게, 짓누르다, 이렇게 이해하시면 되겠습니다. Here's the headline again. Korea ranked 29th out of 37 major OECD economies in terms of economic growth during the fourth quarter of 2024, as weak domestic demand and heightened political uncertainty weighed on the nation's performance. Okay, let's move on to the next headline.
Korea's passport has dropped to 39th place in the 2025 Nomad Passport Index, which ranks passports based on 5 criteria: ease of travel, tax policies, global perception, dual citizenship opportunities, and personal freedoms.
올해 2025 노마드 여권 지수에서 우리나라가 39위로 떨어졌습니다. 이 지수는 여권을 평가하는 데 있어 무비자 입국, 과세, 국제적 인식, 이중 국적 취득 가능성, 개인의 자유 등 5가지 기준을 적용하는 것으로 알려졌습니다.
Yeah, so before you go saying, hey, wasn't Korea at the top of this list? Isn't Korea a very strong passport?
Yeah, a lot of people have always said, you know, the South Korean passport is
Yeah.
one of the strongest in the world.
Exactly. So the reason for this is because this is a completely different list. It's a different index. This is the Nomad Passport Index. I think what many people think about is the Henley Passport Index, and that index measures passports based on the number of countries that you can travel on without a visa.
Just that one criteria.
Surely, that's the only criteria. So
Yeah.
you might ask, so why is Korea 39th in terms of what? Or here it says based on what? It's based on 5 criteria, and
Yeah.
it's the criteria that we listed here in terms of ease of travel, et cetera, et cetera. At the top of these rankings, based on these criteria, it would be the country of Ireland. Ireland has the number 1 list for the first time, actually. It did come close in 2020, but other countries at the top of the list are countries like Luxembourg and Sweden. And on the other side, there are at the bottom of the list are countries like Pakistan, Iraq, Eritrea, Yemen, and Afghanistan.
조금 전에 우리 그 작년 4분기 경제 성장률도 이렇게 여러 나라 비교했었는데 그때도 1위가 아일랜드였는데 이제 이 전혀 다른 리스트입니다만은 노매드 여권 지수에서도 1위가 또 아일랜드네요. 공교롭게도.
Is that a coincidence? I'm just
It is a
noticing that now
coincidence.
as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
it,
so
it is a coincidence.
okay, so their economy is performing well, and also their passport is
It's very
apparently
strong.
Very strong. Okay.
그래요. 그렇습니다. 그동안에 우리가 이제 대한민국 여권 전 세계에서 가장 파워풀한 여권 중에 하나다. 이런 뉴스 많이 전해드렸었는데 그거는 완전히 다른 기준으로
Yeah.
여권의 스트렝스를 측정하는 거예요. 그러니까 딱 한 가지 기준으로 그게 뭐냐면은 무비자 입국 가능한 나라 개수. 예, 이렇게 봤을 때는 우리나라가 뭐 항상 탑 3 안에 들잖아요. 그동안에 쫙 보면은. 근데 이번에는 무비자 입국뿐만이 아니라 여러 가지 총 5가지 정도의 팩터들을 고려해서 우리가 저기 39위를 했습니다.
Yeah, those factors are what we call criterion,
Yeah.
right? Plural would be criteria.
Yeah, that's right. 총 199개국을 이제 살펴보게 됐었고, 그 criteria가 ease of travel, tax policies, global perception, dual citizenship opportunities, 그리고 personal freedoms 이렇게 5가지가 있습니다. 그 중에서 global perception 한번 볼까요? Perception.
Yeah, so if something's perceived, it's understood, or like an idea is regarded in a certain way.
네. 인식입니다. 네. 어떻게 인식이 된 나라냐 이런 의미가 되겠고 이 5가지에 의거해서 이 5가지에 근거해서 이렇게 등수가 나오는 거죠.
Yeah. For a public figure like a celebrity, they might be worrying about what the public's perception of them is. It's like their image.
Yeah, and it's based on the 5 things that we mentioned earlier on. 그래서 based on이 바로 무엇에 근거해서 뭐뭐 하다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Korea's passport has dropped to 39th place in the 2025 Nomad Passport Index, which ranks passports based on 5 criteria: ease of travel, tax policies, global perception, dual citizenship opportunities, and personal freedoms.
Yeah.
참고로 좀 말씀을 드리자면은, did you want to say something?
No, I was going to say these rankings are always fun for readers
Yeah.
because it makes you want to look at the list. But these are, in a way, very subjective.
Yeah.
They try to use objective criteria, but at the very end of the day, they are subjective. It doesn't mean
Yes.
that one country is better than the other.
That's right. 그렇습니다. 네, 그러니까 어디까지나 이제 참고하면 될 그런 리스트인데,
Yeah.
이 Nomad Passport Index만 놓고 봤을 때 우리가 작년보다 한 6계단인가 7계단 떨어졌고요. 그리고 예전 한 6년 전에 비하면 또 많이 떨어졌어요. 그때는 한 11위 정도 했던 것 같아요. 그래서 이 리스트 하나만 놓고 봤을 때도 우리가 계속 조금 떨어지고 있다고는 합니다. 자, 이렇게 해서 앞에 헤드라인 2개 살펴봤고 이제 좀 쉬어갈게요.
The number of blood donors in the country has been steadily declining, a trend worsened by record low birth rates, with the Korean Red Cross reporting approximately 2.85 million blood donations last year.
저출생 등의 영향으로 국내 헌혈 참여자 수가 갈수록 줄어들고 있는 가운데 대한적십자사는 지난해 국내 총 헌혈 건수가 약 285만 건으로 기록됐다고 밝혔습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so according to the Korean Red Cross, that figure hit 2.85. It was at a low of 2.6 during the COVID years back in 2020 and 2021. So it's been steadily rebounding, in fact, since COVID. But the more troubling figure is that that's the total number of donations. But if you look at the number of individuals, so per person, that number has been declining to 1.26 last year, down from 1.32 2 years prior. So the trend is that the number of individual blood donations or the people are declining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is happening steadily.
Yeah, if something happens steadily, it doesn't happen all of a sudden. It happens sort of in a regular, even controlled sort of manner.
Yeah. steadily는요, 꾸준히라는 뜻인데 부사입니다. 그래서 steadily, steadily. 여기서는 이제 declining이 뒤에 붙었죠. 그래서 안정적으로라는 뜻이 원래 있는 단어예요.
Yeah.
steady라는 형용사가 흔들림이 별로 없이 그냥 안정적으로 간다 이런 뜻이기 때문에 수치가 steadily declining or steadily rising 이렇게 표현을 한다 그러면은 크게 이렇게 올라갔다 내려갔다 하는 거 없이 조금씩 올라가고 있다 아니면 내려가고 있다 이런 뜻이죠.
Unwavering.
Yeah.
For example, like when you lose weight, when you try to lose weight, it's better to lose weight steadily instead of crash dieting.
That is true.
Yes.
And something was worsened by something.
Yeah, so it's describing a situation that becomes worse or deteriorates more than before. So if something's made worse than before, it's often described by saying it's worsened by something.
Yeah. 그래요. Be worsened by something은 무언가로 인해서 더 악화됐다라는 뜻인데 여기서 헌혈 건수가 줄어든 것이 저출생이 그 원인 중에 하나다라고 했어요. 근데 저출생뿐만 아니라 헌혈하는 사람들의 숫자 자체가 또 많이 줄었다고 합니다. Let's read this one more time. I'll do that. The number of blood donors in the country has been steadily declining, a trend worsened by record low birth rates, with the Korean Red Cross reporting approximately 2.85 million blood donations last year. Now let's move on to the next headline.
5 scientists who contributed to the development of weight loss drugs have picked up one of this year's breakthrough prizes, the most lucrative awards in science.
비만 치료제 개발에 기여한 과학자 5명이 과학계 시상 행사 중 최고 수준의 상금을 수여하는 브레이크스루 상의 올해 수상자로 선정됐습니다.
Yeah, so you may have heard of this new drug in the news. It's called Ozempic
Yeah,
in the US.
I've heard
It's
of it.
very popular among celebrities, and they use it to control their sort of appetites. Originally, it was developed to treat diabetes
Yeah.
with these researchers here. So this breakthrough prize is a very lucrative prize, meaning that the winners receive $3 million. So it's more than the Nobel Prize.
Right.
And that's why I think it's called more lucrative. But
Yeah.
basically, they developed this new hormone. It's a drug that mimics a hormone which controls your blood sugar. That's why for diabetes it's good, but it also helps curb your appetite. So it's become this famous drug among Hollywood celebrities. But
그렇습니다.
again, the best way to lose weight, I think, is just eating less and exercising.
저희가 몇 주 전에 아마 금요일 방송 World News Overview 하면서 남미에서 이 오젬픽 절도 사건이 그렇게 많이 일어나고 있다. 이거
Yeah.
전해드렸던 것 같아요. 굉장히 이제 다이어트의 효과가 좋은 거로 알려지면서 근데 가격은 굉장히 비싼 걸로 알고 있거든요. 그래서 이제 그렇게 많은 강도들이 약국에 들어가서
Yeah.
은행 털듯이 이제 약국 털이범이죠. 그런데 다른 거는 안 훔치고요. 오젬픽만
Yeah.
이렇게 훔치는 사람들이 있대요. 그거 이제 좀 살 빠지고 싶은 욕망을 좀 반영한 그런 뭐 상황이었던 것 같은데 그때 그거 보면서 저도 많이 놀랐었거든요.
Yeah, it means
어느
there's-
정도길래?
It's in high demand and
네네.
they're expensive and
그렇습니다.
they're hard to get by.
맞아요. 근데 이제 원래는 당뇨 치료제로 만들어졌던 약이지만 이게 다이어트에 굉장히 효과가 있다라는 것으로 알려지면서 헐리우드 배우들 중에 아마 오프라 윈프리도 이거 아니면 뭐 굉장히 유사한 뭔가를 사용했던 걸로 알고 있는데 살 많이 빠진 거 알고 있죠. 최근에 여러분 보셨을
Well,
거예요.
she's always been up and down in her weight.
그렇긴 해요. 플럭츄에이션 좀 있긴 했었는데 그래서 굉장히 많은 헐리우드 배우들이 이걸 쓰면서 체중 감량을 짧은 시간 안에 확
Yeah.
하면서 더 유명세를 타게 된 것 같습니다. 우리 지금 뭐 홍보를 하려는 건 아니고 전혀. 예,
It is a
그런데
brand name too, I think.
맞습니다.
Yeah.
네, 브랜드 이름이라서 좀 말하는 게 꺼려지긴 하지만 워낙 뉴스에 많이 나오니까. 그런데 자, 이 얘기를 지금 왜 하고 있느냐? 이 약을 개발한 과학자들 5명이 있습니다. 북미권 그리고 유럽 과학자도 포함되어 있죠. Tell us more.
Yeah, this breakthrough prize, it was actually set up by these tech giants, the founders of Google as well as Facebook, made this breakthrough prize. And it's given under 3 categories, life
Yeah.
sciences, physics, and mathematics. So it is similar to the Nobel Prize.
Yeah, exactly. 그래요. 그래서 캐나다, 미국 그리고 덴마크인가요? 이렇게
They were at these institutions.
네,
So,
네. 출신
yeah,
네,
so
과학자들
scientists
5명.
at the University of Toronto, Harvard, Copenhagen, and the Rockefeller University in New York.
그래요. 5명의 과학자가 이 상금이 상당한 그런 상을 받게 됐습니다. 이렇게 돈을 많이 받게 된다 아니면은 뭐 사업에 대해서도 돈을 굉장히 많이 버는 잘 나가는 뭐 사업이다 할 때도 우리가 lucrative를 참 많이 쓰는데
Yep.
Tell us about this word. How do you spell it first of all?
Lucrative. It's Lucrative. Lucrative. And it's described. It's used to describe something that's well paid or profitable. It produces wealth, money, basically.
그렇죠. 수익성이 좋다는 뜻이에요. 근데 상에 대해서도 이렇게 쓸 수가 있는 거고 그다음에 contribute
Yeah, so these 5 scientists, they contributed to developing this.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one person. So when you contribute, you donate or you provide your skill or money. It means you're partly responsible for it.
네, 그렇죠. 기여한다라는 뜻으로 contribute라고 하죠. 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. 5 scientists who contributed to the development of weight loss drugs have picked up one of this year's breakthrough prizes, the most lucrative awards in science. Let's move on to the final headline.
Japanese hot springs, better known as onsens and long sought after by travelers from around the world, are now running low on water as over-tourism strains local supplies.
전 세계 여행객들이 오랫동안 즐겨 찾으며 온센이라는 이름으로 더 잘 알려진 일본의 온천들이 최근 과잉 관광이 부른 현지 온천수 공급 차질로 인해 물 부족 현상이 나타나고 있습니다. Oh no.
Yeah, so Japan, famously known for its hot springs or
Yep.
its onsens, there are about 27,000 of them across the country. And you couple that with a record number of tourists or foreign visitors from last year. Nearly 37 million people visited Japan last year. So that's an equation for not just over tourism, but these onsens, not all of them, but one in particular here we're talking about in the town of Urashino. They saw, the city's about 25,000 residents, but they saw millions of people flock to their little town here. And that's why officials there have issued warnings about the impact of over-tourism and the supply of water in the town.
그래요. 지금 이제 온천이 한 27,000개 정도가 있고 그 다음에 작년 한 해만 3,700만 명 정도가 일본을 다녀갔기 때문에
Yeah.
이 둘을 합하면 이거 그 이제 수학적으로 아까 표현을 하셨어요. This equation이라고 하셨던
Sure.
것 같아요. 그래서 수학에 나오는 equation이라는 이 단어는 공식 이런 말인데, 그러니까 이렇게 많은 온천이 있지만 그보다 훨씬 많은 사람들이 또 오가고 하다 보니 과잉 관광 현상이 나타나고 있고 그것으로 인해서 또 물 부족 현상까지 나타나고 있다고 합니다.
Yeah. It's
The
unfortunate.
onsens. Yeah, it is.
Because we all want to experience this. So
Yeah.
if you go to a different country, you want to see their nature. You want to travel to the onsen. Have you been to an onsen in
I've
Japan?
never been to
Neither
an
have I.
onsen.
I've been to Japan several times.
Me too,
But,
yeah.
I enjoy it. My wife is not a huge fan of that, so that might be a reason why we haven't been able to go. But,
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, they're very popular though. I
Yeah.
understand.
The last time I went, the hotel that I stayed at, they had an onsen.
Oh, wow.
And I got free vouchers, so I was able to use their facilities. And as I was checking out, I said, "Can I go and use the onsen now? I'm going to check out." But I checked out early, I was like, and they said, "No, you can only use the onsen vouchers on the first day of your stay." And I said, "You should have told me that yesterday."
you didn't read the terms and
No,
conditions.
I didn't read the
No.
terms and conditions. I didn't realize. So I wasn't able to use it. But next time, hopefully, I'll
Yeah.
be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, redeem it then.
I will. 자, sought after by a lot of people.
Yeah. If something's sought after, that means it's in great demand. It's
Yeah.
greatly desired and wanted by many people. Sought is the past tense of seek, right? So
Yes.
to look for something. But sought after, it would be in an adjective form.
Something is sought after by something.
Right.
그러면은 많은 사람들에게 인기가 있는 무엇. 그래서 A is sought after by B. 그러면은 A는 B가 많이 찾는, 그렇게 선호하는 것이다. 이런 의미가 되겠죠. 그래서 많은 사람들이 좋아하는 온천 얘기를 하고 있고. But they are running low on water.
Yeah, if you're running low on something, that means you have a supply of something, but it's depleting, right? It's nearly dwindling that you have to refill it or replenish it soon. So, for example, if your car is running low on gas, I think that might be where this came from, but it means it's almost empty. The light is on. Maybe it's beeping. It means you have to hurry up and refill it with gas.
Yep, exactly. Run low on something이 무언가 지금 부족하다.
Yeah.
이런 뜻이 있어요.
Right.
그래서 지금 얘기한 것처럼 가끔 운전하다가 이제 기름이 좀 부족하면은 뭐 삐삐 소리가 날 수도 있고 아니면 뭐 깜빡깜빡거릴 수도 있고요. 뭐 차마다 좀 다르겠죠. 그래서 지금 이제 빨리 다시 주유해라. 예, 알려주죠 차에서. 그럴 때 쓰는 표현이 Oh no, my car's running low on gas.
Yeah. Another thing, usually at around 4 p.m. in the day, you're sort of getting a little hungry.
Yeah,
You have low energy. You would say, "I'm running low on sugar right now.
Yes.
Give me a candy or a candy bar or a chocolate bar."
That's a great expression because in Korea people
Yeah.
will also say 당 떨어져.
Yes.
So in English, I'm running low on sugar.
Yep.
Where's my chocolate?
Right.
이런 식으로.
or you could be running low on energy, right?
running
'Cause
low on
you're
energy.
so tired,
맞아요.
right? Yeah.
지금 에너지 레벨이 너무 낮다. I'm running low on energy 이렇게 표현할
거의
수 있습니다.
바닥났다.
맞아요.
Right, yeah.
네, 그래서 거의 이제 결핍 상태가 됐을 때 표현할 수 있는데 이제 온센 같은 경우에는 물이 좀 부족한 그런 상황이 됐다고 합니다. 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Japanese hot springs, better known as onsens, and long sought after by travelers from around the world, are now running low on water as over-tourism strains local supplies. Well, that's it for the headlines with Shane Harm.
The state-run Korea Development Institute has warned that the nation's economy is facing mounting downward pressure amid the rapid exacerbation of global trade uncertainties.
국책 연구기관인 한국개발연구원 KDI는 글로벌 무역 환경의 불확실성이 급격히 악화함에 따라 최근 우리나라 경제가 받는 하방 압력이 확대되고 있다고 경고했습니다. One of those external uncertainties or external factors would be the US trade.
Yes, the tariffs in particular.
Tariffs, yeah.
I should say this is not something that just Korea is facing. The whole world at the moment
yeah.
is well, feeling very ogure perhaps. I'm not sure. But certainly the KDI in their monthly assessment, they're saying these outside conditions are going to put pressure on us, downward pressure, and things could be made worse. Things could be exacerbated because of them. So in March, we had a 3.1% growth in outbound shipments and exports, but it's been sluggish growth.
Yeah.
So we're not seeing the growth that we need. And the firms who are exporting are not looking very positively about things.
Right.
And a lot of it does come down to what's happening in the US, because there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment. Is Trump going to lift the tariffs or pause the tariffs? Is he going to double down on the tariffs? What will tariffs in other countries do to Korea? We're waiting and seeing, but certainly there is mounting pressure on us and things may get worse because of it.
Absolutely. What does mounting mean?
Mounting means increasing.
How do you spell it?
Mounting. If you think of a mountain, but instead of an N, it's an ing.
Yeah.
And if something mounts, it goes on and up and up and up and up. So if something is mounting, there's an increasing amount of it, an increasing size of it.
네, mountain 산이 아니고요. mounting, ing, 점점 증가하는 이라는 뜻인데요. 여기서 하방 압력, downward pressure가 점점 확대되고 있다. mounting 하고 있다라고 표현을 하고 있습니다.
And we often talk about mounting pressure. Those two words go together a lot, talking about that increase of pressure. It's not just a number going up. We feel like the burden of that pressure growing.
Got it. So mounting and pressure, they often go together. And what about this long word here? Exacerbation.
Ugh, it's a horrible word, Sue, because it means something that's making something else worse.
Yeah.
To exacerbate is the verb. And so anything that is an exacerbation is making whatever it is worse than it was before. So it's not saying it was good and now it's become worse. It was already bad and it's making it even more bad.
And that's the important point. It was already bad.
Exactly. So it's about making something worse when the situation isn't great to start with.
원래도 좋지 않은 상황이었는데 그게 점점 더 악화해서 더 안 좋은 상황이 되는 것을 exacerbation이라고 표현할 수 있어요. 명사 형태이기 때문에 동사로 말한다면은 exacerbate라고 할 수 있겠죠. 여기서는 global trade uncertainties, 그 국제 무역 환경의 불확실성이 지금 아주 빠른 속도로 더 악화되고 있다. 이런 얘기로 보면 되겠습니다. 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. The state-run Korea Development Institute has warned that the nation's economy is facing mounting downward pressure amid the rapid exacerbation of global trade uncertainties. Let's move on to the next headline.
An annual government report shows that, for the 8th consecutive year, K-pop remains the first thing that comes to mind when thinking of Korea among foreigners.
연례 정부 보고서에 따르면 외국인들이 한국을 생각할 때 가장 먼저 떠올리는 이미지로 8년 연속 K-pop을 꼽은 것으로 나타났습니다.
I thought it was Morning Special. Obviously, I was wrong. But
Maybe we were a close second?
well, no. It's really interesting. We have this annual report from the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, along with the Korea Foundation for International Cultural Exchange. And I think this is a really good indicator of how Korea is getting across to other countries.
Yeah.
And K-pop certainly seems to be in the lead again. 17.8% of respondents said when they thought of Korea, the first thing they thought of was K-pop. And it's 8 consecutive years where K-pop has been number one. What's interesting is what's fighting for second and third place.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether this will be a surprise or not, but food is now number 2. And a few years ago, I don't think that would have been the case, but 11.8% of respondents thought of Korean food.
Okay.
And the next one at 8.7% was K-drama. So it's interesting. Music, food, drama, those are the things that people think of when they think of Korea. And certainly, who do they think of? Well, for boy groups, it's BTS, and for girl groups, it's Blackpink. Those are the 2 groups that really top the respondents' lists.
Yep. I had to do a quick search of when it was that Psy released his Gangnam Style.
We're looking at what, 13, 14 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2012,
Yeah.
so 13 years
Yes.
ago. It's been quite some time now, but I think he definitely paved the way for K-pop to be better known than before.
I think
Yeah?
it's Psy, it's Girls' Generation, it's the Wonder Girls, those
Yeah,
3 in
yeah.
the late 2000s, early 2010s
Right.
that really did sort of open up the K-pop market internationally.
Absolutely. And as you said, over the past 8 years, the first thing that's come to mind for foreigners when they go Korea was K-pop, and still is.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I'm not that surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised that food is number 2, though.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. 그래요. 외국인들이 한국 하면은 생각나는 첫 번째, 두 번째, 세 번째 이미지가 K-pop, 그다음에 한식, 그리고 K-드라마라고 합니다. 자, 이 표현을 좀 볼까요? K-pop remains the first thing that comes to mind.
Yes, if something remains something, that means it's still whatever that is. For example, a musician or a girl group, boy group want to remain at the number 1 spot on the charts.
Yeah.
They want to stay there for not just 1 week, but several weeks. So whenever we use the word remain, it's someone or something that's staying where it already was.
여전히 뭐뭐하다, 계속 뭐뭐하다라고 할 때 remains라고 표현할 수 있고요. K-pop이 여전히 뭐냐면은요, the first thing that comes to mind.
Yes, and we often use this whole expression, the first thing that comes to mind when talking about 뭐뭐뭐. And it means it's the first thing we think of,
Yep.
the first image in our head or the first idea. So, for example, if I said to you, what's the first thing that comes to mind when I say the word UK? What do you think of?
Tower Bridge?
Sure. A lot of people might have said the Queen, or even now King Charles,
Yeah, yeah.
or Tottenham Hotspur.
손흥민, I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, or Buckingham Palace.
Everybody's different, but whatever comes to mind is the first thing you're thinking of.
그렇죠. 뭐뭐뭐 하면은 가장 먼저 떠오르는 것. 그게 the first thing that comes to mind when입니다. 이 중에서 이제 가장 먼저 떠오르다라는 표현, the first thing that comes to mind. first thing을 만약에 빼고 come to mind 요것만 놓고 이제 표현을 본다면은 떠오른다 이런 거죠. So maybe what's the second thing that comes to mind or the third thing
Sure.
that comes to mind 이렇게 앞부분 조금 바꿀 수 있긴 한데요. come to mind는 항상 붙여서 표현을 합니다.
Yeah, you know what comes to mind to me when I think of Korea?
What?
Pilsung.
What?
Oh, Pilsung Korea.
필승. 그렇군요. Okay.
It was 2002. It was a catchy song.
오필승 코리아가 생각나신다고. 네, 그때 저도 기억이 납니다. Alright, so something comes to mind라는 표현, 뭔가가 떠오르다. 이렇게 살펴봤고요. 제가 다시 한번 헤드라인 읽어보겠습니다. An annual government report shows that for the 8th consecutive year, K-pop remains the first thing that comes to mind when thinking of Korea among foreigners.
Chinese seismologists have warned that the March 28th earthquake in Myanmar may be followed by more, as their research indicates a heightened risk of major quakes across China and surrounding regions.
중국 지진학자들이 지난 3월 28일 발생한 미얀마 강진에 이어 더 많은 지진이 일어날 가능성이 있다고 경고하면서 중국 및 그 주변 지역에서 대규모 지진 발생 위험이 높아졌다는 연구 결과를 제시했습니다. Tell us more.
I mean, the whole world watched in horror on March 28th. At first sight, okay, it's an earthquake, but it's not so bad. And then as the minutes and hours passed, we started to realize that the death toll was huge.
Yeah, the casualties.
Yeah, something like over 3,000. And the very worrying thing is that seismologists are now saying this is not the last of it. It may not be Myanmar, but in China and the surrounding regions, according to their research, there are these seismic cycles. The world goes round, but also the intensity of earthquakes goes round in a cycle.
Yep.
And they've looked at 150 years of this data, seismic data to do with earthquakes. And they've identified 6 major earthquake active periods in those regions in China and around China. And it seems to be that we're in one of these risky phases or this high-risk phase.
Yep.
So there may well be another serious earthquake in that region or elsewhere in or around China. We wait and see until we get more information, but certainly everybody be safe out there.
Yeah. Well, you said that the experts who've been saying this are seismologists.
Yes, and this is not somebody who knows how big you are. This is not SIZE. This is SEISMOLOGIST. A seismologist is a scientist who specializes in earthquakes. So you wouldn't normally be able to guess it if you just saw the word. Right. It's one of those you're going to have to just learn to memorize. But seismologist is an expert in earthquakes.
지진학자를 seismologist라고 하는데요. 우리 지진에 의한 아니면 지진의라는 형용사 seismic가 정말 많이 쓰이는 형용사예요. 이게 또 비유적으로는 엄청나다라는 의미로 또 seismic를 쓰기도 하는데 이게 뭐 지진처럼 엄청난 피해를 입는 게 될 수도 있고 아니면 그냥 큰 규모의 무언가, 엄청난 무언가라는 비유적인 표현으로도 많이 씁니다. 자, 그래서 seismic 나오면은 지진 일단 떠올리시면 되고 seismologist 그러면 지진을 연구하는 학자, 지진학자가 되겠습니다. What about to heighten?
Well, heighten, coming from the word height, means the size of something, how tall it is. So if something is heightened or something heightens, it means it increases in height, means it gets bigger or more severe. So we use it with risk, for example, a heightened risk or a lessened risk, I think is the opposite we'd use. The one I often hear on the news is heightened alerts, when maybe there's a storm coming or there's the possibility of an earthquake. Sure. The country will say that we're heightening the alert system, we're going from orange to red or whatever color it may be.
네. 자, HEIGHTEN, heighten. 이건 무언가를 고조시키거나 고조됐을 때 이 표현을 씁니다.
Yeah, and we don't use this for very positive expressions. The ones that come to mind are alert, risk, tension, these kind of words. So when we hear it in the news or see it in the news, it's often going to be something negative.
대부분 이렇게 부정적인 뉘앙스로 쓰이는군요. 아까 seismologist도 그렇고 heighten도 그렇고 앞에 모음이 다 EI 이렇게 나가네요. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. Chinese seismologists have warned that the March 28th earthquake in Myanmar may be followed by more, as their research indicates a heightened risk of major quakes across China and surrounding regions. Here's our next headline.
Rising rivers and worsening floods have swept across southern and midwestern US, endangering communities already battered by days of heavy rain and winds that claimed at least 18 lives.
미국 남부 및 중서부 지역이 범람한 강물과 악화된 홍수에 큰 피해를 입으면서 그전에 이미 수일간 지속된 폭우와 강풍으로 최소 18명의 사망자가 나온 바 있는 현지 지역 사회가 위기에 처한 것으로 전해졌습니다. Tell us about what's happening in America.
Oh, it's another really serious situation when it comes to natural disasters. The National Weather Service is saying that there were dozens of locations in multiple states that they were expecting to reach a major flood stage. And that means when roads are flooded, bridges are flooded, buildings and other structures are flooded. And they're saying it's going to persist for a little while longer. There were tornado watches over the weekend through to Sunday local time in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. And, we've seen evacuations in certain areas as well. And the reason, they say it's warm temperatures and an unstable atmosphere combined with strong winds and lots of moisture streaming in from the Gulf. So all these factors coming together to create these stormy conditions.
Yeah, many communities have been endangered by this.
They have. And if someone or something is endangered by something, they are put in danger. When I was growing up, I used this word a lot when talking about animals. I loved animals as a kid, and I was always worried about endangered species, like the giant panda, for example. We don't have many pandas left. They are an endangered species, meaning the few that we have are in danger of disappearing completely.
네. 자, 한 단어고요. 동사로 썼을 때는 endanger, endanger. 형용사일 때는 endangered, endangered.
Yes.
네. 자, 그래서 이제 뜻이 뭐냐면은 동사는 위험에 빠뜨리는 거고요. 형용사일 때는 위험에 빠진인데 이게 사실은 멸종 위기라는 의미로 우리가 많이 쓰죠. endangered species 그러면은 지금 멸종 위기 종이다. 이렇게 해석을 많이 하고 지금은 the floods and the rising rivers, they are endangering communities. 이런 지금 여러 가지 기상 상황이 많은 지역을 위험에 빠뜨리고 있습니다.
Yeah, and also people can endanger other people. If
Yeah.
you're not following safety rules and regulations, you might endanger others' lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And oftentimes with these weather-related stories, we have verbs that mean to hit.
Yes.
Batter is one of them.
Yeah, batter. You might be familiar with that if you like baking or cooking, because we use the term batter to describe banjuk.
Yeah.
The liquidy thing that we might make for twigim, for example, for deep fried foods that we dip it in. But here the verb to batter means to hit, not once but many times. So we use this often for storms or heavy rain, something where it feels like buildings or even people are getting hit and hit and hit and hit and hit. When I was a kid growing up in the UK and you'd have to walk or cycle to school, sometimes it felt like you were getting battered by the wind. It would actually physically hurt because it was hitting you and hitting you and hitting you.
Yep. 자, batter, batter가 동사로 썼을 때는 때리다. 그리고 형용사로 battered 뒤에다 ed 붙이면은요 이렇게 타격을 입었다가 되는데 날씨 얘기 관련해서 뭐 hurricane, typhoon, 뭐 tropical storm 이런 게 있을 때 대부분 어느 지역에 타격을 입혔습니다. 이게 이제 영어에서 일반적으로 날씨는 거의 이 구조로 가거든요. 뭐 어떤 날씨 현상이 어떤 지역을 뭐 때렸다 이런 식으로 영어로 표현을 한단 말이죠. 그때 hit라고도 해도 되고요. batter도 쓰기도 하고 그다음 그 외에도 굉장히 많습니다, 사실은.
Yeah, but they all have slightly different nuances. For example, hit suggests just one time, whereas battered suggests again and again and again. So there is this nuance of multiple
stronger
times.
then.
Yeah, and also longer lasting, perhaps.
그렇군요. 그냥 단순히 hit하는 것보다는 좀 더 심한 타격을 입은 것 같은 느낌이 있고 자, 그다음에 또 아까 요리 얘기를 잠깐 하셨는데 완전히 다른 단어지만 같은 스펠링
네.
batter 명사 batter는 반죽이라는 뜻이 있어요.
Yeah, and also used as a verb to batter something. So you
Okay.
batter a piece of fish and fry it to get traditional fish and chips in the UK.
아, 그러니까 반죽을 덮은 다음에 튀길
네.
때 그런 걸 또 이제 batter한다라고 표현을 하는군요. 네, 조금 다른 의미니까 같은 단어지만 참고하시면 될 것 같습니다. 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Rising rivers and worsening floods have swept across southern and midwestern US, endangering communities already battered by days of heavy rain and winds that claimed at least 18 lives. Here's our final headline.
Thousands of protesters have taken to the streets across Spain to demand solutions to what they have called the country's worsening housing crisis.
스페인 전역에서 수천 명의 시위대가 자국의 주거 문제 위기가 점점 더 심화되고 있다며 이에 대한 해결책을 촉구하는 시위를 벌였습니다. Tell us more.
It's not the housing owners who are protesting, it's the tenants, it's the renters, the people who are finding it difficult to find housing or paying too much for housing. And this is the first time that we've had multiple protests in multiple locations at the same time. Ever since they had maybe 10 years ago, there were protests against evictions. So it feels like the sentiment is very strong amongst tenants' rights movements and other social rights groups. They're demanding the lowering of rental prices. They're saying they want, in some cases, up to 50% off. They're saying they need rent to be half the price that it is right now, and also to protect vulnerable families from eviction. There's been a whole crisis in Europe when it comes to tourism. And we've seen this not just in Spain, but elsewhere with people protesting because tourism comes and tourism takes up housing sometimes with, bed and breakfast modeling and things like that. And people are finding they don't have housing solutions. So they're demanding solutions so they have somewhere to live.
네. 세입자를 영어로 tenant라고 합니다. 그래서 지금 이 하우싱 이슈가 있다고 얘기를 했죠. 주거 문제라고 했었는데 이 집 주인들이 시위를 하는 게 아니고요. 이제 세입자들, so not the housing owners, but the tenants, they are the ones protesting because they're either being kicked out or the rent is too expensive and they're having a very hard time living, basically.
Yeah, and there's also 3.8 million vacant homes, and they're saying, why can't we live in them?
아, 그래요. vacant는 비어있다라는 뜻인데 저렇게 빈집이 많은데 왜 저걸 활용을 하지 못하느냐 이런 얘기도 있대요. So they took to the streets.
Yeah, I mean, this is a term we'll see a lot in the news, and it basically means to publicly protest.
Yeah.
To go to a public space, and that's often going to be a street. Even if you're protesting in a square, we'll
Yeah.
still say that they took to the streets. It means people are going out in a group and protesting.
네. 그러니까 한마디로 거리에 나가서 시위를 하다, 그냥 시위를 하다라는 의미라고 볼 수도 있는데, 물론 이제, 그냥 혼자 시위하는 건 이렇게 표현하진 않고요. 예, 여러 사람이 다 같이 나가서 시위를 하는 건데, streets라는 단어가 들어있지만, 지금 폴 선생님이 얘기해 주신 것처럼 뭐 어디 광장에 가도 take to the streets라고 하고요. 어디든 이제 야외에 나가서 사람들이 다 같이 모여서 시위를 할 때 take to the streets라고 합니다. And to demand solutions.
Meaning they're saying we want something to fix our problem. We want a solution to our problem, something that will end, you know, the lack of housing or the expensive rent.
Demand something, 요구하다. Solutions, 해결책을 내놓으라고 요구하는 것이죠. 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. Thousands of protesters have taken to the streets across Spain to demand solutions to what they have called the country's worsening housing crisis. Well, that's it for the headlines with Paul Matthews.
Korea's education expenses have recorded their steepest rise since the 2009 global financial crisis, driven by surging university tuition hikes, according to Statistics Korea.
국내 교육 물가가 대학 등록금 인상의 여파로 2009년 금융위기 이후 가장 큰 폭으로 뛰었다는 통계청 발표가 나왔습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so this is according to statistics that was released on Monday, and it said that South Korea's education costs saw their sharpest rise since 2009, and as we mentioned, it was driven by widespread university tuition hikes. So the stats said that education-related expenses jumped 2.9% year on year in March, contributing 0.21 percentage point to the 2.1% rise in overall inflation. And the surge follows the end of a 16-year tuition freeze, with nearly 80% of private universities and 28% of public ones raising their fees. And the ripple effect pushed up costs across the board, including kindergarten fees, which was up 4.3%, e-learning platforms, which was up 9.4%, and home study programs, which went up 11.1%. Officials warned that continued tuition hikes could fuel inflation into early next year, with future policy shifts hinging on the incoming administration after the June 3rd presidential election.
Yeah, prices have risen across the board.
Across the board, yes.
So it's not just your grocery shopping
Yeah.
and housing and just everything in general, but we're looking at education as well now.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at this expression here, steep.
Steep, yeah. So we said that education expenses have recorded their steepest rise. So here we're talking about the sharpest, or at a very rapid rate. So it means that it's rising or falling very sharply, nearly perpendicular.
Yeah. steep라는 건 가파르다라는 뜻이에요. 경사가 이제 가파를 때 steep angle 이렇게 표현할 수도 있겠고 이제 등산을 하는데 너무 경사가 가파라가지고 너무 지금 오르기가 힘들어.
Yeah.
이럴 때 this mountain is so steep.
Yeah,
it's really hard to
It
climb.
could be a steep hill, a steep trail. Yeah.
yeah. STEEP 이렇게 쓰는데요. 자, 이제 수치에 관해서 오름세가 가파를 때 역시 steep를 쓸 수 있겠습니다. So the steepest rise since 2009, 2009년 이후 가장 가파른 상승세를 보이고 있다. And what's a tuition hike?
Yeah, so tuition is basically the fee that we usually use this for college tuition. So when we're talking about the money that we would pay a college for for the fees that you would pay for instruction would
Yeah.
be your college tuition. So it's usually used for colleges or universities.
그래요. tuition hike라는 거는 이제 수업료 인상인데 보통 이제 대학교 수업료 등록금을 tuition이라고 하죠. T-U-I-T-I-O-N, tuition. 자, 그러면은 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. Korea's education expenses have recorded their steepest rise since the 2009 global financial crisis, driven by surging university tuition hikes, according to Statistics Korea. Let's move on to the next headline.
The Korean Baseball League attracted 1 million stadium spectators this season in just 60 games, breaking the previous record of 65 games set in 2012.
올 시즌 KBO 리그가 역대 최소 숫자인 60경기 만에 100만 관중을 돌파하면서 2012년에 세운 종전 기록인 65경기를 경신했습니다. Let's talk about the Korea Baseball League.
Yeah, the KBO. So they always say that there's something special about Korean baseball games. It's different. It's very different. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot to watch, even if you're not a baseball fan, apparently.
Yeah.
Which must be why it's very popular and a lot of people are visiting the stadiums to go see the games. So they announced on Monday, the KBO announced on Monday that they've hit that 1 million in-person fans. It's a record. They reached that number in record time. So the milestone was reached in just 60 games. So it was the fastest in league history. It broke the previous record, which was set back in 2012 with 65 games. So on Sunday, this weekend, they said that over 96,000 fans attended games across 5 stadiums with sellouts in Seoul, Daegu, and Busan. And the surge follows last year's record-breaking season when the KBO drew over 10 million spectators.
Right. So you just mentioned the word there, but the people who go to watch the games are called spectators.
Yes, that's right. So spectators are a person, or spectator is a person who watches a show. It could be a game or
Yeah.
any sort of event. And it's usually in person. So it could be at the stadium or it could be at like a venue, some sort of venue.
Yeah. And the word previous here.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, so previous. So if we're talking about the game, the previous game would be the game that was held before the event that we're talking about.
그렇죠. 이전에 무엇 할 때 previous라고 말을 하겠죠. 자, 그러면은 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. The Korean Baseball League attracted 1 million stadium spectators this season in just 60 games, breaking the previous record of 65 games set in 2012.
A second child has died from measles in the U.S. as the outbreak of the highly contagious virus continues to grow in the country, prompting the health secretary to urge the public to help prevent its spread through vaccination.
전염성이 강한 홍역 바이러스가 계속 번지고 있는 미국에서 홍역 감염으로 인한 어린이 사망자가 2명째 나오자 보건복지부 장관이 확산 방지를 위해 국민들에게 백신을 접종할 것을 촉구했습니다.
Yes, so
The measles.
I keep wanting to say security instead of secretary,
Right.
but what's happening is a second child has died from measles in western Texas in the U.S., and it's been intensifying concerns over a growing outbreak of this highly contagious virus, which they said was eradicated because of vaccinations. So this was an unvaccinated 8-year-old girl who had no underlying health issues, and she unfortunately died on Thursday from complications despite hospitalizations.
Very sad.
Yeah, and they're saying that Texas, the state, has now reported over 480 cases this year, and that was up from 420 earlier last week. And the outbreak is now spreading to neighboring states. And nationwide, more than 600 measles cases have been reported in 2024, and that's already more than double last year's total and the highest since 2019. So it is definitely spreading. So the U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is under fire for a slow response, and he visited Texas over the weekend.
Right.
Kennedy's been a long-time vaccine skeptic.
Right.
And
that's an interesting point.
yeah, and he has confirmed the child's death and pledged federal support, including vaccine distribution and medical aid. So, like I mentioned, the U.S. declared measles eliminated back in 2000, but rising anti-vaccine sentiment has fueled recent outbreaks. And doctors and lawmakers are urging stronger public health messaging, saying everyone should be vaccinated, and there is no benefit to getting measles. And I don't know. If you can prevent an outbreak through vaccines, I really do think you should be vaccinated.
But I think we've read about vaccines and sort of anti-vaxxers in America.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit different to the situation in Korea because it's quite politicized, isn't
Yes.
it? 우리는 사실 이제 뭐 질병이 있어서 백신을 맞는 것이 그냥 그런
Yeah.
것으로 우리는 아프니까 백신 맞고
Yeah.
이렇게 생각을 할 수 있겠지만 미국은 그렇게 클리어 컷 아주 이제 뭐
Yeah.
심플한 문제가 아니더라고요. 뭐 정치화가 되기도
Yes.
하고 그래서 anti-vaxxers라고 해서 백신 불신론자들, 백신을 거부하는 사람들도 많이 있고요. 뭐 정치적인 이유 때문이나 뭐 종교적인 이유 여러 가지 이유로 인해서 그러다 보니까 사실 이게 쉬운 문제가 아니라고 합니다. 아무리 질병이 있어도 사실 코로나 때도 마찬가지고 지금 measles 홍역도 그렇지만 이게 백신 맞는 게 좋습니다라고 아무리 누가 권장을 해도 개인적인 신념, 정치적인 성향 때문에 끝까지 거부하는 사람들이
Yes.
좀 있을 수가 있다고 해요. 미국에서는.
Yeah. But when it starts to affect your community and when like the larger community.
그래요. 그래서 이제 흥미로운 점은 뭐냐면은 지금 현재 미국의 보건복지부 장관인 롭 케네디 주니어 장관이 원래는 이 백신 불신론자입니다.
Yeah.
아까 뭐라고 하셨냐면 vaccine skeptic라고 표현하셨죠. SCEPTIC. 그러니까
SKE.
SK 그래요. 하나 빠졌다 싶었는데. 네. 그래가지고 이제 백신에 대해서 불신을 하는 주의였는데 그런 장관조차도 여러분 measles vaccine 맞으세요. 이렇게 권장을 하고 있다는 거죠. 그만큼 문제가 심각하다. Alright, what's something that's highly contagious?
Yes, something that is highly contagious is it means that it spreads very easily from one person to another, like COVID. Something that spreads through direct contact or indirect contact. Through it could be airborne, it could be through contaminated surfaces, but anything like a disease or an illness that very easily spreads from one another.
그래요. 자, 그러니까 여기서 전염성이 매우 강하다, 높다라는 뜻으로 highly contagious를 쓸 수 있겠습니다. 자, 그다음에 urging the public to do something.
Yes, when you are urging the public to do something, it means you are strongly encouraging or persuading the public to take sort of a specific action or maybe adopt a particular viewpoint. And you often do this when there is some sort of sense of urgency or importance.
그렇죠. 국민에게 무언가를 촉구할 때 urge the public to do something이라고 할 수 있습니다. skeptic는 스펠링이 두 가지가 다 되네요. 지금 빨리 찾아봤더니 일반적으로 이제 SKEPTIC 이렇게 배우셨을 것 같아요. 이게 미국식이라고 하고 영국식은 SCEPTIC 둘 다 가능합니다. 네, 저도 좀 헷갈렸었네요.
Yeah.
뭐
It's
혼용이
always
되다
hard to
보니까.
spell it out with words
Yeah.
and when you see it.
Exactly. I was a bit skeptical about the spelling of that word, and now I know. Here's the headline once again. A second child has died from measles in the US as the outbreak of the highly contagious virus continues to grow in the country, prompting the health secretary to urge the public to help prevent its spread through vaccination. Now let's move on to the next headline.
India's weather department has warned of an intense heat wave this summer with above normal temperatures expected across most regions of the country.
인도 기상청이 올여름 인도 내 대부분 지역에서 평년보다 높은 기온이 예상된다며 올해 극심한 폭염을 경고했습니다. Tell us more.
This is very worrisome because I remember coming in last year and talking about that weather. I think it was a news anchor or newscaster who fainted during while reporting on the very extreme weather conditions in India. But they're saying that most parts of India will extreme an intense heat wave this summer with above normal temperatures. And this is according to India's weather department. They say that many states have already reported weekly average minimum temperatures above normal by 1 to 3 degrees Celsius in February. In 2024, as I mentioned before, India recorded its hottest day at 50.5 degrees Celsius. This was in May. And the country's health minister attributed 143 deaths to heat waves between March and June. And the weather agency issued a yellow alert for several northern and central states, warning of soaring temperatures this week. Delhi is forecast to hit 41 degrees Celsius. And they say that a lot of regions will see highs above 40 degrees. And this is, it's tolerable, but it poses a lot of health risks for the elderly, for infants, and for those with chronic illnesses. And they say that in India, heat waves are typically seen from April to June, but they're starting earlier and they're lasting longer. And of course, this is due to climate change.
네. 작년 같은 경우에도 인도에서 최고 기온 50도, 50.5도를 기록했거든요. 근데 올해가 더 더울 거라고 하니까 작년에도 사실 이 열사병 사망자가 많이 나왔는데 네, 걱정입니다. 자, 일단 표현 좀 볼게요. Intense heat wave.
Right. So a heat wave is a prolonged period of abnormally hot weather, often lasting for several days with temperatures exceeding the average high temperature for a particular region and time of year. But if it's intense, that means it's even higher or even more hotter than usual.
그렇죠. 뭔가 아주 극심할 때 intense하다라고 표현을 하는데 heat wave, 폭염이라는 단어를 꾸며주고 있네요. 자, 다음으로 above normal.
Above normal. So we usually say above normal, above average, higher than average. So it's higher or greater than what is considered usual, standard, or expected.
보통 이상이다, 평균 이상이다. 그렇다면은 이제 평균 이하일 때는 below normal or below average 하면 되겠죠?
Yep.
다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. India's weather department has warned of an intense heat wave this summer with above normal temperatures expected across most regions of the country. Here's our final headline.
A new study has found that drinking coffee daily is linked with a certain type of bacteria growth that's believed to boost good digestion and nutrient absorption.
매일 커피를 마시면 소화 및 영양 흡수를 촉진하는 것으로 알려진 장내 특정 유익균 성장에 도움이 된다는 연구 결과가 나왔습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm having a little coffee this morning myself,
Yeah.
thanks to 감독님
Yeah,
outside. But they're saying that your daily coffee fix might be doing more than just waking you up. It could also be giving your gut a healthy boost.
Yeah.
So this is according to a new study that was published in Nature Microbiology, and it found that coffee consumption is linked to increased levels of a rare gut bacterium. I cannot say the name of this bacteria.
You don't have to try.
Yeah, and they say that it aids it may aid digestion and nutrient absorption in our bodies. And this bacterium, it was identified first back in 2018, and it produces a beneficial compound that's associated with healthy gut function. And the research is still in its early stages, but
Yeah.
people who drink 3 or more cups of coffee a day, they said that they had 10 times more of this microbe in their gut than non-coffee drinkers.
Okay.
And other foods rich in colorogenic acid and polyphenols like those aronia berries, blueberries, apples, and pears may have similar effects. So if you're not a coffee fan, you can try those berries as well.
Yeah.
But they do say more research is needed.
What I found most interesting was that this was the same for decaffeinated coffee.
Yeah.
And I usually drink decaf.
Yeah, so you don't need the caffeine. So it's not related to caffeine. It's just it must be some other substance that's in coffee.
그러게 말입니다. 커피가 장 건강에 굉장히 좋다는 연구 결과가 나온 겁니다. 이 유익한 이 유익균이 커피를 매일매일 마시게 되면은 많게는 뭐 8배까지나 안 마시는 사람에 비해서 생성이 될 수 있어서 이 장 건강에 아주 좋고요. 이 독특한 점이 바로 카페인이 들어있는 커피 말고도 디카페인 커피를 마셔도 이 장내 유익균이 많이 만들어진다.
Yeah.
오, 그래서 굉장히 반가운 소식이었습니다.
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of interesting because, we mentioned the berries, like aronia berries,
Yeah.
blueberries. And if you think about it, coffees are berries. They come from berries. So maybe there's some sort of connection there. But of course,
Interesting.
like we mentioned, this is in the early stages.
right.
So it doesn't mean you should go out and drink like 10, 15 cups of coffee.
With every study, take it with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
Because some studies say coffee is bad for you.
Yes.
Some say coffee is great for you.
Because
So-
coffee doesn't just have one substance
Yeah.
in there. Yes,
그렇습니다.
there are many other, and caffeine is not good for you in large doses. So yes.
어디까지나 이제 참고하시면 될 것 같고 영어로는 take it with a pinch of salt라고 해가지고 이거를 이제 알아서 적당히 받아들일 건 받아들이고 뭐 무조건 맹신하거나 이러지는 말라는 얘기죠.
Yes.
지금 이 연구 결과도 아주 뭐 100%다 이런 것까지는 아니지만
Of course,
이런
yeah.
이제 좋은 점도 있더라 이런 얘기니까요. Let's look at the word boost.
Yes, boost. If you boost something, it means that you're helping to encourage something or you're helping to increase or improve something.
그렇죠. 뭔가를 북돋거나 아니면 신장시키는 거 boosting 한다라고 하죠. 자, 그다음엔 nutrient absorption.
Yes, absorption. So there is a P in there, although it's very difficult to hear. It's spelled ABSORPTION, absorption. So it's the process where the small intestines take in digested nutrients from food and drink and transports them into the bloodstream to be used by the body for energy, growth, and cell repairs. So it's being absorbed. The nutrients are being basically absorbed into your body to be used.
자, 영양소 흡수를 nutrient absorption이라고 합니다. 우리 흡수하다라는 동사는 absorb해서 b로 끝나지만
Yes.
명사 형태는 p가 들어가요. absorption. 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. A new study has found that drinking coffee daily is linked with a certain type of bacteria growth that's believed to boost good digestion and nutrient absorption. Well, that's it for the headlines with Karen Choi.
The Asian Development Bank has lowered its 2025 growth outlook for South Korea to 1.5%, leaving open the possibility of a further downward revision as the latest figure does not factor in the Trump administration's so-called reciprocal tariffs.
아시아개발은행 ADB는 올해 한국 경제가 1.5% 성장할 것이라고 하향 조정하는 한편으로 이 수치에는 미국 트럼프 행정부가 주도하는 이른바 상호 관세의 영향이 아직 반영되지 않았기 때문에 앞으로 추가 하향의 가능성도 배제하지 않았습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so this adjustment was mainly due to domestic factors like the weak private consumption. It's also caused by high interest rates, household debts, political uncertainty, as well as the sluggish construction sector as of late. And as mentioned in the article, Donald Trump, they're adding tariffs everywhere around the world,
Yeah.
and they're not done just yet, as there might be some more depending on what Korea does in response to what they're doing. So we'll have to see if things change even more.
Yeah, a couple of months ago in December, the ADB said Korea will likely see economic development of around 2%. But this time around, they said, no, actually this year it's looking more like 1.5%. We'll have to see if that projection either drops further or stays consistent. We don't know because a lot of external factors do play a big role in that.
Yeah, and if anything, they're bracing themselves for it to possibly go lower.
Yeah, exactly. They're leaving that possibility open, right?
That's right. And when you leave something open, then that's exactly what you're doing. You're saying that, well, there's still a chance.
Yeah.
We're not going to rule that out just yet. We're going to leave
open. It's like leaving the door open. The door's
Yeah.
not shut. You can still get through it, but maybe it's not wide open. So it might be a little bit more difficult to get through the door, but it's not completely shut or it's not locked.
문을 열어두는 것도 leave the door open이라고 표현할 수 있지만 이 가능성을 열어둘 때도 똑같은 표현을 써서요. leave something open, leave open the possibility 이렇게 표현할 수 있겠고 leave open the 뭐가 있을까요 또? Anything really.
Yeah.
Whether it's literal or figurative. 뭐 열어두다 이런 의미로 비유적으로도 또 진짜 그냥 물리적으로도 다 사용할 수 있는 표현이 되겠습니다.
You can leave the bidding open if you have companies that are, trying to get a proposal for something. Then
Sure.
it's still open. It's still available. Think of like business is still open as opposed to the business is now closed.
Yeah, exactly. 그리고 여기서 그 leave가 뭔가를 놔두다 이런 뜻이 있어서요. leave open은 열어두다 이게 되겠습니다. What about to factor something in?
When we factor something in, then something is part of the equation. And I think we talked about this a week ago or so when the factor, it's actually a mathematical term as well
Yeah.
for anything that's divisible whole into something. So 3 and 4 are factors of 12, 6 and 2 are factors of 12, 12 and 1 are factors of 12. So
Yeah.
they can be used in an equation to make 12. So in the same sort of way, when you factor something in, then it's part of the equation. It's part of the calculations or the process of doing something.
그래요. factor in something or factor something in이라고 하면은 무언가를 consider한다, 고려한다라는 의미가 되겠습니다. 자, 그리고 그 이제 reciprocal이라는 단어가 바로 상호간에라는 뜻이 있어서 reciprocal tariffs 그러면은 상호 관세가 되겠습니다. 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. The Asian Development Bank has lowered its 2025 growth outlook for South Korea to 1.5%, leaving open the possibility of a further downward revision, as the latest figure does not factor in the Trump administration's so-called reciprocal tariffs. Let's move on to the next headline.
A new report from the UN warns that artificial intelligence could affect 40% of jobs worldwide in the next decade by replacing or complementing human labor, accelerating automation, and potentially creating new roles in areas like AI research and development.
인공지능 AI가 향후 10년 동안 전 세계 일자리의 40%에 영향을 미칠 수 있다고 경고하는 UN의 보고서가 나왔습니다. 보고서는 이 과정이 AI가 인간의 업무를 대체하거나 보완하고 자동화를 심화시키며 AI 연구개발과 같은 새로운 일자리를 창출하는 방식으로 진행될 것으로 예측했습니다. It's all about AI these days.
It is. And the talk, of course, continues to be the difference between the haves and the have-nots. And quite often is the case that with AI, it requires a lot of money to keep and create and to improve on the system. So therefore, there's a lot of talk that it's the first world countries that are simply going to accelerate at this, that are going to do better, while the poorer countries of the world will most often be left behind.
Yeah. Well, AI is either going to replace human labor or complement human labor.
Yeah, and when you complement something, then you make something better. And it's usually a small addition to a bigger whole, and that small addition kind of makes the greater whole much better overall.
Right.
I think of clothing quite a bit. You talk about a certain necktie might complement your suit or might complement the way you look. Certain foods on a dish can complement the entire dish.
Yeah.
A small garnish might complement a dish. So it's little small additions to something that makes the whole better.
Yeah. There are actually two words that sound exactly the same,
Yes.
but are spelt slightly differently.
This is complement with an E, and then, of course, there is complement with an I. And yes, the complement with an I is when you tell someone that they look good,
Yeah.
or you say nice things about someone or something. That's a compliment, which I'd say we probably hear more often. I think it's easy to get that confused because we hear that a lot. Thank you for the compliment.
What about at hotels? You get complimentary things.
Yes,
Is
for
that
free.
With an I or with an E?
I'm going to say, I believe it's with an E.
I think so. Yeah, I think
I believe
so.
that's
yeah.
with an E.
그래요. 자, 발음은 똑같은데 다른 두 단어 compliment and compliment. 자, 지금 우리가 보고 있는 보완하다 의미의 compliment는 E가 들어가고요. 그 다음에 칭찬하다 의미의 compliment는 I가 들어갑니다. 이게 좀 헷갈릴 수 있어서 칭찬은 내가 받으면 기분이 좋으니까 I다. 뭐 이런 식으로 뭐 외워보면 어떨까. 저만의
I like that.
방법이고요.
I like that.
I like to be complimented. 자, 그 다음에 accelerate. What's that?
If you accelerate, then you are moving faster and faster. And we've talked about this before with the gas pedal in your car. It's called the accelerator. Some people call it the gas pedal, or some people it's the accelerator. So if you press it with your foot, then you're going to move faster.
그렇죠. 가속화하는 거를 accelerating이라고 하고 우리 그 악셀이라고 하는 것 같아요. 콩글리시로. 그게 바로 accelerate의 줄임말이라고 보여집니다. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. A new report from the UN warns that artificial intelligence could affect 40% of jobs worldwide in the next decade by replacing or complementing human labor, accelerating automation and potentially creating new roles in areas like AI research and development.
NASA astronaut Johnny Kim has become the first person of Korean descent to serve on a mission at the International Space Station after arriving safely with 2 cosmonaut crewmates aboard a Russian Soyuz rocket.
미국 항공우주국 나사 소속 우주비행사 조니 킴이 소유즈 우주선에 탑승한 동료 2명과 함께 국제우주정거장 ISS에 무사히 도착했습니다. 이로써 그는 이곳에서 우주 임무를 수행하는 첫 번째 한국계 우주 비행사로 기록됐습니다. Alright, so this is a proud moment for us. I mean, he is American, but he has Korean blood, I suppose, right?
Yeah, he's born of Korean parents.
Yeah.
He left on Tuesday, 2:47 p.m., so it's been a couple of days in Korean time. They left from Kazakhstan in actuality.
Okay.
And he was selected in 2017 to be a NASA astronaut. So it's been a while that he's been preparing for this. And, I've seen videos of him over the past year or so, and the videos were basically made like those shorts where it's talking about here's this person and it talked about all his different credentials because he's like a physician as well and he's got amazing credentials of things that he's done and they're like, what are you doing with your life? Sort of thing.
Make me feel bad about my
and it was amazing. Like I can't remember everything, but yeah, he had some amazing stuff that he's actually completed in his life. Like I think he's an Air Force pilot, he's a doctor, like all these things. Now he's going to be an astronaut, and it's basically, what are you doing with your life now?
이야, 뭐 대단한 이력을 가지고 있네요. He has some great credentials. To serve on a mission is the expression we want to look at here. What's that?
Yeah, when you think of a mission, it's something that you're trying to complete. You have a goal that you're setting, and you're saying, okay, I want to complete this goal. So when we have things to serve on a mission, often we talk about this as being something that it's not something just that you're doing, but it's for the greater good of a mission that's been created for you. So you are not like just the one that's creating and doing everything, but you're following through on something that's been set for you.
Serve on a mission에서의 mission은 임무라는 뜻이고요. 그 임무를 수행한다는 얘기인데 그 미션에 이름을 붙일 땐 보통 미션 뭐뭐뭐 이렇게 붙이기도 하죠. 그래서 영화 제목이 Mission Impossible이라는 게 불가능한 미션이 아니라 불가능이라는 미션. 약간 다른 거예요. Mission Impossible은 그냥 이름인 거죠. It doesn't mean this is an impossible mission. Although the mission was, deemed to be impossible.
Usually.
Yeah, exactly. But that is the name. 자, 그 다음에 cosmonaut가 있어요. Not astronaut, but cosmonaut.
Yeah, there's one difference between an astronaut and a cosmonaut, and a cosmonaut is a Russian astronaut. So the biggest difference is, and which is why they were aboard the Russian Soyuz rocket. So these are a pair of Russian astronauts, so we call them cosmonauts.
아, 그렇군요. 러시아의 우주 비행사는 cosmonaut라고 하고 그 외에는 이제 다 astronaut라고 하는 것 같아요. 이 조니 킴, Jonny라고 이름을 쓰더라고요. 조니 킴 씨는 LA에서 나서 자란 한인계 미국인이 되겠습니다. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. NASA astronaut Johnny Kim has become the first person of Korean descent to serve on a mission at the International Space Station after arriving safely with 2 cosmonaut crewmates aboard a Russian Soyuz rocket. All right, let's move on to the next headline.
An Italian ticketing company and 6 tour operators have been fined nearly 20 million euros for engaging in illegal practices that hindered regular visitors from accessing Rome's Colosseum at the standard ticket price.
이탈리아의 한 티켓 판매사와 6개 여행사가 로마의 콜로세움 입장권을 일반 방문객이 정상 가격으로 구입하는 걸 방해하는 불법 행위를 저지른 혐의로 2천만 유로에 달하는 과태료를 물게 됐습니다. What did they do?
Yeah, so they were using bots, software bots, to hoard tickets and then basically making it impossible for regular visitors to buy tickets
At the normal price.
At the normal price.
Yeah, 'cause they would resell them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
They're reselling it, or as we call scalping, the tickets at a higher price.
그러니까 맨 처음에는 사재기처럼 표를 엄청나게 많이 그 AI 보트 같은 것들을 이용해가지고 구입을 해서 그 다음에는 웃돈을 붙여가지고 비싸게 파는 그런 불법 행위를 저지른 거죠. 그러다 보니까 정상 가격으로 표를 사는 게 거의 불가능해졌다. 이런 얘기가 되겠는데 6개 여행사가 이렇게 같이 했다라는 얘기. 아이고. A lot of these companies engaged in illegal activities.
That's right. And if you engage in something, then you are participating. You are taking part, or you are doing this illegal practice.
그러네요. 한 티켓 판매사와 6개 여행사가 함께 이런 일에 관여했다. They engaged in something. 자, 그다음에는 hindering. What's that?
If you hinder someone or something, then you're making it more difficult for someone or something to do what they're trying to do. So
Yeah.
you're being a problem to somebody else, essentially.
못하게 한다는 뜻이 있어요. 저해하거나 방해하거나 그럴 때 hinder someone from doing something. 자, 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. An Italian ticketing company and 6 tour operators have been fined nearly 20 million euros for engaging in illegal practices that hindered regular visitors from accessing Rome's Colosseum at the standard ticketing price, or the ticket price rather. Let's move on to the final headline.
Pork fat has been ranked healthier than many fruits and vegetables, securing the 8th spot in a BBC list of the world's healthiest foods.
돼지고기 지방이 BBC 방송사가 뽑은 세계에서 가장 건강한 음식 순위에서 다수의 과일과 채소를 제치며 8위로 선정됐습니다. Okay, well, that's good news for us because we have a lot of samgyeopsal
Absolutely.
in Korea. Tell us more.
Yeah, so I think
Interesting.
obviously people are wondering the
What?
validity of this.
Yeah.
How's that even possible? But yeah, they're saying that pork fat is actually a lot healthier than people believe. And in fact,
Oh.
healthier than a lot of foods that didn't make the list. So, you know, the fact that it's even on there at all is pretty crazy. But when you talk about pork fat, we often use another word for it called lard. And lard is the rendered version of it. So if you were to take pork fat and essentially heat it and melt it so that all the liquid comes out, and then you wait for that liquid to solidify at room temperature, then we call that lard. And a lot of restaurants and places in America use that for deep frying food,
Yeah.
like French fries and stuff like that. But
Okay.
yeah, so we're calling it pork fat, which is the pre-rendered version of it. But after you render it down to a liquid and then use it again, then we call that lard.
Could you run us through the list?
Yeah, let's look at the 20 healthiest foods were almonds. There was cherry moya, which is a fruit.
Okay.
Ocean perch is a fish. flatfish, which is kajami, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, Swiss chard, pork fat, beet greens, snapper is a fish, dried parsley, celery flakes, watercress, tangerines, green peas, pike, Alaska pollock, green onion, red cabbage, and Pacific cod.
Interesting. There's a lot of seafood in there.
Yeah, I was just going to say a lot of fish.
Yeah. 그러네요.
They do say fish is healthy for you, including fish oils.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
and a lot of seeds as well, seeds and nuts.
Well, whatever we decide to eat, we should have it in moderation.
Absolutely. And I think also, there's a difference between, let's say, bacon and pork fat, because with bacon, there's so much salt that's added as well, which is obviously too much is not good for you.
Yeah. Well, in English, we normally have a separate word for the animal and the meat, right?
That's right.
So we have pig and pork and cow and beef.
Yep. There's deer and venison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Chicken. It's still chicken.
Chicken is just chicken. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to just not change chicken. Maybe they got worn out by the time they got to chicken. Oh, just keep the word.
It's too confusing.
Yeah, exactly. And then sheep and actually, we normally have lamb, which is a baby sheep.
Yes.
So I guess that's the same, lamb and lamb.
There's also mutton.
Oh, mutton.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
that's
mutton
right.
is an adult sheep.
sheep.
Yeah.
그러네요. 네. 자, 그리고 뭐 그 단어의 어원까지 살펴볼 필요는 없겠지만 참고로만 얘기를 하자면은 그 동물의 이름과 고기의 이름이 유럽 언어 중에서 이제 뿌리가 조금 다릅니다. 그래서 동물의 이름들은 대체적으로 그 독일어의 어원이랑 비슷하고 그다음에 요리의 그 이름들은요 대부분 다 French에서 온 단어들이 많이 있어요. 그렇다고 하더라고요. Moving on, let's look at secure.
If you secure something, then you're making something safe. We think of security.
Yep.
And the fact that it's securing the eighth spot means that it's sort of taken the eighth spot under its control. It's safely in that position.
그래요. Securing the something spot라고 하면은 어떤 자리를 획득했다 아니면 확보했다라는 뜻인데 특히 순위 얘기할 때요. 3위였다, 1위였다 이런 거를 영어식으로는 it secured the top spot or it secured 8th place 이런 식으로 표현을 많이 합니다. 그래서 secure가 물론 안전하게 하다의 뜻도 있겠지만 여기서는 어떠한 자리를 확보하다, 획득하다, 그 자리를 차지하다 이런 의미로 볼 수 있어요.
Yeah, it can also be used like if you've gotten something or not received, but if you set out to get something and you got it. So let's say I secured the tickets or I secured front row seats for the concert. So I set out to get this and I was able to get it. I now have it safely is kind of the image that you want to have.
Exactly. So with that story about Italian ticketing companies and tour operators, meddling with the prices, a lot of people were not able to secure tickets.
Exactly. Yeah. I think they were saying there was like 13 million people visit the Colosseum each year. So I guess they might have been securing 13 million tickets every year.
Who knows? 자, 그럼 다시 한번 마지막 헤드라인 제가 읽어보겠습니다. Pork fat has been ranked healthier than many fruits and vegetables, securing the 8th spot in a BBC list of the world's healthiest foods. Well, that's it for the headlines with Jason Lee.